Cain. I'm the professor of saxophone at Valdosta State University, and I'm here for RS Berkeley, giving a brief lesson here on the Crimea River lick. This lick originates from the tune called Crimea River, which is a jazz standard, and the pattern is actually just the first several notes of the melody. The way I like to think of it, right there in the key I just played, I think of it in G minor, starting on the 9th, or the 2nd scale degree. So first, just imagine a G minor triad. Then add an A in both octaves. It starts on an A, and or octave, there's also an A. And you can mess with the rhythms a little bit, and often you'll hear it played with this rhythm. So the first step in dealing with this pattern is to just feel comfortable playing that shape in all 12 keys. And what I would do is start, let's say, on a high D, and start playing it over the C minor chord, but again starting on the 9th, the high D, and just go down chromatically. Take your time so that those are comfortable, and it's just a matter of muscle memory. For me, I tend to, once I can play this pattern, I tend to think, okay, what's my starting note? And because I practice it so many times in all the keys, once I start, my fingers just follow. So that first step is really important, just playing it over and over, repetition, until you just get it under your fingers. The next step to working with this lick is the realization that this can be played over several chord types, and that's one of the reasons that this pattern is as enduring as it is. It gets played by jazz musicians over many chord types. The minor chord is one of them. Okay, so let's look at the jazz melodic minor scale and the modes of that scale. And there are at least 4 chords which can be derived from this scale that are used commonly in jazz. There are more than that. But 4 of them we see with some frequency. I'm going to go to the piano, play the chords, and play the Crimea River lick over each of these chords. Now, in each case, I'm going to be playing this pattern, starting on a high D, and we'll see which chords that works on. So, first off, I'm going to be playing it over, on the saxophone, over the C minor chord. Next, if we go up to the 4th mode of this scale, we are dealing with the F Lydian dominant scale, and so in that case we could see an F7 sharp 11 chord. And it doesn't even need to be a sharp 11 chord because, again, that note doesn't play into it. But if we were to play over this chord, again, I'm using the same set of pitches, it's just over a different chord, F7 or F7 sharp 11, or even F sus can work. All right, the next chord is A half diminished. And again, all of these notes are a part of this same scale, and the chord is derived from the jazz melodic minor scale. And then the final one would be over a B7 altered. Altered, which can mean sharp 9, flat 9, sharp 5, flat 5. Okay, once you realize that there are these 4 different types of chords that we can play this pattern on, the next step is going to be to feel comfortable on each of those chords in all 12 keys. What I like to recommend is creating some flashcards. I have 2 little sets here. One has all the note names, F sharp, we see, E, etc. And then I have another set with the 4 chord qualities. 7 sharp 11, minor 7, 7 altered, and minor 7 flat 5 or half diminished. So we just want to mix these up and realize a couple of things. If I pick the first ones, I have F sharp, half diminished. With half diminished chords, The first note, as we discovered in the last exercise, the first note begins on the fourth of the chord. So if we see F sharp half diminished, or F sharp minor 7 flat 5, we're going to start on the fourth scale degree, which is a B. Okay. Next card in the flashcards, E flat 7 sharp 11. On this type of chord, we're going to start on the sixth scale degree. Okay. So for E flat 7 sharp 11, I would start on C. Moving on, I picked here G minor 7. Okay, on a minor chord, we're just going to start on the ninth. And finally, we have an altered chord. Here it's C altered. And so then on the altered chord, we're going to start on the, either you think of it as a flat third or the augmented second, a minor third up from the C. So if I see C7 altered, I'm going to start on an E flat. Okay, so just flip through these flashcards several times, keep shuffling them so that when you see A half diminished, you know immediately, okay, I'm going to start on a D. It starts on the fourth scale degree. Then, ultimately, we can apply this to minor 2-5-1. The three chord types in a minor 2-5-1, first we have a half diminished chord, followed by a 7 altered chord, and then a minor chord. So if we're dealing with a 2-5-1 in G minor, we're going to start with A half diminished. And so for that, we would start on a D. The next chord type is D7 altered. We're going to start on the minor third of D, which is an F. And then finally we get to the G minor chord, and we're going to start on the ninth, which is A. So together, those are going to sound like this. So keep in mind that this pattern never changes. The Crimea River lick is always that same set of intervals. It's a minor chord with the ninth on the top and in the middle, or the second scale degree in the middle. It's just a matter of knowing when to apply it. So we've seen today at least 4 chord types. The dominant chord, we could see sharp 11 or sus chord potentially. And we see how flexible this pattern is. So make sure you follow it step by step. It's easy to dive in and say, I just want to play a minor 2-5-1. But I think it's going to be better to do the step-by-step process. Thanks for watching, and thank you to RS Berkeley for this fantastic instrument, the Virtuoso alto saxophone. Again, my name is Joren Cain from Valdosta State University.